Good morning and welcome to Breakfast with the Nurse Practitioners. My name is Haley Gatens and I'll be your host today. With me I have two guest pediatric nurse practitioners.
Hey everyone, I'm Wesley, and I'm Sarah, and we're both pediatric nurse practitioners in the primary care setting.
Great, and today we're going to be discussing what nurse practitioners are, what they do, and a little bit about Wesley and Sarah's stories. So Sarah, can you get us started and let us know what exactly does a nurse practitioner do?
Yeah, so a nurse practitioner is also known as an APRN, which is an advanced practice registered nurse. So Wesley and I both got our licenses as registered nurses and then went on to get our masters, and we specialized in pediatric primary care. There are lots of other areas that nurse practitioners can specialize in, but that's what we felt was right for us. And so as nurse practitioners, we are able to do physical examinations, we're able to diagnose, treat, and order exams. So that's just a little bit of what the nurse practitioner does.
Awesome. So Wesley, can you tell me a little bit about why you wanted to become a nurse practitioner?
Sure, I would love to. So I always knew that I wanted to be in the healthcare profession, but I wasn't exactly sure where my place would be. So I ended up finding myself working as a medical assistant at a clinic run by nurse practitioners, and that's where I saw kind of what nurse practitioners do on a daily basis, and I was able to see the relationships they form with their patients and how close they were and how trained they were to handle anything that walked in through their doors. And it was such a great experience, and that's what kind of led me into this path.
That's great. So tell me a little bit more about what the typical day of a pediatric nurse practitioner looks like.
Yeah, so it just kind of depends on what your setting is. Wesley and I both work in primary care, so it's kind of just like an outpatient setting, but nurse practitioners also have the ability to further specialize down into certain fields of medicine. So it could be cardiology or neurology. There's a whole bunch of different things that they can do. But we typically start working around 8:30, and we can see up to 30 patients a day. It really just depends on the day. So how about you, Wesley? What does your day look like?
Yeah, kind of the same. It just kind of depends where you work, but it's a lot of, just making plans about the patients, a lot of education in our job, and a lot of advocacy. We work with pediatric patients, so a big thing we both believe in is advocating for our patients and making sure they're getting the best care they can get.
Well, that's great. So can you tell me a little bit more, just to wrap up, like how do you feel being a pediatric nurse practitioner positively impacts your community, and then anything else you guys want the public to know about your profession and where it's going?
Yeah. So as a pediatric primary care nurse practitioner, a big part of our jobs is really educating and explaining to children and their parents how they can really lead full and healthy lives. And that's so important because that really can mitigate any potential health problems in the future if they have a really good, firm foundation from which to build a really healthy life.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And there's also a shortage of providers in primary care. So nurse practitioners were able to fill this gap and make sure, kind of like Sarah was saying, that these kids are being seen annually. We strongly believe in the well child checks, and so we think nurse practitioners are impacting the community positively by making sure all these kids are being seen.
And so, moving forward, something that people may not know about nurse practitioners is that the scope of practice really varies state to state, with some states being very restrictive and some states giving their practitioners full autonomy. And so some of these trailblazing nurse practitioners are really lobbying to make the scope of practice standard across all states.
Wow, it's so interesting. Well, thank you so much for coming out today.
Yeah.
I learned so much about this profession, and I'm so excited for you guys and what you're doing for our nation's children.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.